And so it appears that housekeeping has been to the room. So I'm quite excited because this is one of the experiments I've been curious about. Hi, I'm Chris, and this is Field Notes, where I document messy real-world experiments. And this week, I traveled from St. Louis to Cincinnati for a work trip. And on that trip, I decided to track the indoor air of my hotel room for those 3 days. Then I took that same setup and tracked the air quality on my ride back home. Here's the honest truth: field work is never clean. I brought my sensor setup, but the version of the code I needed was on a different Raspberry Pi, a Pi Zero, which I left back at home. So I'm sitting in a hotel room trying to rebuild the experiment under time pressure on a tiny 5-inch screen and with hotel internet that doesn't really allow me to remote in and use SSH into anything. I ended up improvising. I remoted in when I could by using my phone as a hotspot. I tried to copy and paste what I needed and basically rebuild a good enough dashboard so I could log my data continuously. The goal here isn't a perfect calibration. Is to capture real-world changes tied to real events. I'm used to coding on larger screens, but in order to get this experiment done in time, this is what I'm stuck coding on. It's working, but it's definitely not the most efficient. Once the dashboard was stable, the experiment could finally run unattended, and that's when things get really interesting. Okay, it hasn't been easy, but it is 11:45, and I have something that resembles a good enough dashboard for me to track the gas temperature and humidity in my hotel room for the next few days of my stay. Let me show you. So I have my whole little setup and my VLC dashboard, gas temperature, humidity. Here are the top line values for gas in ohms, my temperature, the humidity, and then the last, in this case, 8 minutes, but I can set that to whatever range I want. And because I'm working on such a small screen, I have the option to pause the updates and then select when I want the data to refresh, which is pretty nice because sometimes refreshing on this small UI makes it really difficult to see what's going on. And because I'm staying in this hotel for a few days, housekeeping should come in and clean the room. And my plan is to track the indoor room quality over my entire stay. And ideally, I'll also have the data on my ride back home. And it's also time for bed. Good night. From here, it's mostly just time. The sensor runs while I'm gone all day, and it should be really stable because if you've seen Field Notes 1, I've already run this experiment at my own home. So the experiment is running in the hotel room. That should run all day. I'm going to check the data when I get back. Now I'm on my way to work, but look at the sunrise. Fire. A long day. It is 9 o'clock and time to go check the data. When I come back at night, I check the dashboard. The room looks identical, but the signal always moves. Now, one thing I noticed that when I entered the room at the end of the day yesterday, the air quality seemed to be better, indicated by a higher gas resistance. But then overnight, I noticed the air quality started to go down slowly. And this could be because of my showering and brushing my teeth and going through that whole routine, as well as maybe even changing the room temperature. But we will see. Here's what it looks like now. This is the 14th at 7:30. Recall last night, it was closer to about 45,000 ohms. So I won't really know what all this means until I get back home and process this data, but it's already pretty interesting to see how my presence in the room and just going about my regular activities does impact the air. One thing you'll notice, HVAC and humidity are a huge part of the story. definitely don't have the same sunrise we had yesterday. But that doesn't stop the innovation. It's another day on site, another day to run this experiment. I just got back to the hotel room. It is 11:57, and the really good thing is the bed has been made. And so it appears that housekeeping has been to the room. Now, I don't smell anything different. I don't know if they necessarily used any chemical cleaners, but I will check the data when I get back home from my trip and see if there's any change to the sensor. So I'm quite excited because this is one of the experiments I've been curious about. And if I look at the data now, you see that we're around 49,000 for the sensor. And so when I get back to my home, I review this data, see if there's any changes, and then think about what I could have done differently for this experiment. This is the moment I've been waiting for. If cleaning products change the air, I should see something in the timeline. Here's the raw gas resistance trace, and it's tempting to call this air quality, but the sensor is also sensitive to temperature and humidity, so raw resistance can be misleading. So I did something simple. I modeled what temperature and humidity explain, and I looked at what's left, the residual signal. And once I do that, the giant swing shrinks, the biggest changes line up with humidity and HVAC behavior. I expected housekeeping to show up as a big chemical fingerprint, but in this run, it doesn't jump out. That's still a result. Either the products were low VOC, the event was brief, or the humidity and ventilation dynamics dominated what the sensor could see. It is 7:52 on January 15th, and I'm getting ready to stop this experiment because, one, I'm getting ready to check out the hotel. I have one more work day, and I'm going to drive home. Now, I can already tell you one thing I'm kind of regretting is not bringing my particulate matter sensor, because I'm seeing some dust. I'm noticing some things in my breathing that I think would have gotten picked up on my PM sensor, and it would have been really interesting to see what that looks like in this context of a hotel room. But let me get this packed up and let me get to work. But first, I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of dusty in this corner of the door. And I've always had really bad seasonal allergies, and I think that's like a paste. I just always wondered, maybe I should have been checking dust, which could help maybe explain some of these symptoms I'm dealing with, even though it's winter and there's not much growing outside. So I'm getting ready to stop the experiment so I can head into work. Before I turn this whole system off, because I know I'm going to run this in the car next, it's going to be very cold. My fingers aren't going to really want to be typing a lot. So I'm going to copy all of the command line prompts I need into a notepad on my Raspberry Pi. And so I can just copy and paste and get this experiment running again. I know this chip is going to need some time to equilibrate, especially because the temperatures are not going to be extremely cold. But it should be good enough for me to at least get an idea of the directionality of the data as I'm driving for the next 5 or 6 hours throughout the evening. Okay, it is 5:33. And I'm going to start the car experiment. It's super cold, so I'm going to try to do this very quickly. But essentially, I'm going to use a battery pack to control the Raspberry Pi and hope that there's enough battery for this probably 5 to 6 hour drive back home. Recall earlier, I copied the command line scripts I'm going to need in order to get the experiment running. So I'm going to try to do that very quickly because it is also 20 degrees outside, so it's very cold. This is the way the experiment is set right now. So here's that battery pack. Here's my Pi. Here is the sensor. I'm going to just try to lift that up and use this mat to hopefully have enough friction that as I drive, I don't jolt the system too much. And I should be able to get this running pretty quickly and get this stabilized and then proceed with my trip. So that only took a couple minutes, mostly because I already had the lines I needed in the text document I just had to copy and paste into the terminal, and it is loading. It's going kind of slow, and that might be because I am using a battery pack versus plugging this in. So hopefully I don't regret that, but I wanted some flexibility in case I actually turn the car off and lose power to my ports. So I'm going to double check that this dashboard loads and then go ahead and hit the road. Okay, so now we are running. It's around 19,000 ohms. The room temperature is 1.8 degrees Celsius, and I can confirm it does truly feel that cold. The relative humidity is reading at 38%. So I'm going to run this right now. In order to conserve battery, I'm going to just pause updates and then manually refresh throughout the trip. And you can see even with this update, as the sensor equilibrates, we are at 24,000. I know temperature is going to impact this reading, but I think it will still shed some light as to what the air is doing during this trip. Okay, let's go. On the way home, I wanted to push this idea further, not just a room, but a moving environment. A car is basically a stress test: doors open, outside air, HVAC blasting, temperature swings. If the system can log through that, it should be able to log almost anywhere. Okay, I've been driving for a few hours now. It's 8:25. I need to take a quick bio break, and then I'll get some gas, and I'm hoping to see what the air looks like around the gas station. I want to keep the sensor in the car and just take a stab at what that might do, how that might impact the experiment, and go from there. So I'm going to take a quick walk around the store right now just to stretch my legs, and then get some gas, get a quick road snack, and get back on the road. It is 10:28, January 15th. I finally made it home. The experiment ran well, as far as I can tell. I will look at the data tomorrow because I am extremely tired. But as far as the sensor staying connected, I didn't see anything that looked strange, but of course, I need to pay attention to the road first. So when I review this data, I'll let you know how it looks. Good night. Here is the compensated car signal. You can see that the cabin settles into a trend, and then around 8 o'clock plus or minus 20 minutes, when I stopped at Meijer and then the gas station, there's a clear transition, and that's what I love about this. Normal life creates these measurable fingerprints. The experiment ran the entire trip, and all in all, I believe it ran really well. When I got back home, I had to do the real work of labeling events, annotating that, understanding the signal, but also improving the kit. One thing I wish I would have done, like I mentioned earlier, is to include a particulate matter sensor, which I will do the next time. Let me know where you want me to take this experiment. It could be other rooms in my home, it could be the basement, or we can even explore outdoor areas. In any case, enjoy the messy world.